Welcome to Sleep History Archives. Tonight, you are about to travel through one of the most mysterious teachings ever written. A book whispered across centuries, not merely to help you sleep, but to awaken inside the dream itself. This is the Tibetan Book of Dreams and Sleep, a sacred map guiding the soul through sleep, dream, and even death. So before we begin, make yourself comfortable. Let your body rest and your breath slow down. Inhale deeply. Exhale softly. As you listen, allow the words to drift through you, like mountain wind crossing a silent monastery. Section 2. The Gate Between Sleep and Death. Every night when you fall asleep, you are practicing how to die. The body grows heavy, the senses withdraw, the outer world fades, and consciousness begins its journey inward. In the Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as the Bardo Thodol, they say that the passage of falling asleep mirrors the passage of leaving the body. The moment before you sleep is the moment between life and the dream world, a threshold, a training ground. Dream yoga teaches that by staying conscious through that threshold, you train your soul to remain awake, even when everything else dissolves. That is the true art of dying before death. The Dalai Lama once said, "If you want to understand death, learn to understand sleep. For in both, the same mystery unfolds, the fading of the outer and the birth of the inner light." This light, in Tibetan language, is called Özl, the clear light. It is the natural radiance of awareness itself. Most of us fall asleep before we notice it, but the masters, they trained to rest within it. Imagine falling asleep, and instead of fading into darkness, you slip into a vast, luminous space. You are not dreaming yet. You are simply aware of awareness itself. That is the clear light sleep, the final goal of dream yoga. Section 3. The Practice Before Sleep. Now, before you close your eyes tonight, the Tibetan masters suggest a gentle ritual. First, sit upright in bed with your spine relaxed but awake. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let go of the day. Then, visualize your body made of light. Not solid, not heavy, just shimmering like a reflection on water. This is called the illusory body. Repeat softly in your mind, "All that appears is mind. All that I see is a dream." With each repetition, you loosen your attachment to waking life, so that when you dream, you may remember, I am dreaming. Then, visualize a small white light at your throat. This is the seat of the dream energy, where speech and awareness merge. Let that light pulse gently, in rhythm with your breath. Each pulse whispers, awareness, awareness, awareness. When sleep comes, imagine that light traveling upward into your forehead, the the space between your brows. This is where dreams begin to form. If you wake within the dream, do not get excited. Simply look at your hands and whisper within the dream, "This is a dream. I am aware." That is the first gate. The moment consciousness enters its own reflection. The moment the veil between worlds becomes thin as breath. Section 4. Closing Reflection. The Tibetan masters tell us, you dream what you are. Every fear, every desire, every shadow becomes a character within your inner movie. But you are not the characters. You are the screen itself. Silent, spacious, eternal. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, remember this. You are not escaping the world. You are entering another chapter of it. And every chapter is an opportunity to awaken a little more. So rest now. Let go of your thoughts. Feel the breath move through you like wind through an ancient temple. May your dreams be clear. May your mind be luminous. And may you awaken in the dream and beyond it. You've been listening to Sleep History Archives. If you found peace in this journey tonight, please subscribe and share it so others may drift into the same quiet wisdom. Good night, and remember, sleep is not the end of consciousness. It's the beginning of awareness. In the silence that follows the first awakening, a new question arises. What is the self that dreams? When your body lies still on the bed, eyes closed, breath shallow, who moves through the dream? Who walks, speaks, feels heat and cold inside a world that exists only within mind? The Tibetans call this subtle presence the illusory body. It is made not of flesh and bone, but of light and energy, the same luminous substance that builds dreams and worlds alike. This is the second teaching of the Book of Dreams and Sleep, to recognize that you are not confined to the physical form. You are awareness, moving through patterns of energy, shaping reality from within. The body of light. In Tibetan iconography, every being is surrounded by a radiant field called Zalung, channels and winds that carry life force. Through these winds, thoughts become images and images become worlds. During sleep, when the physical senses withdraw, awareness enters this inner body of light. You dream inside its space. The masters say that if you train to feel this subtle body while awake, you will recognize it more easily in dreams. So they begin each day with a simple exercise. Sit quietly. Sense the vibration beneath your skin, the tiny hum that lives between heartbeat and breath. That hum is the voice of your subtle winds. Listen to it until you feel your edges blur. Now imagine light flowing through channels from the crown of the head to the base of the spine, spiraling in a gentle current. Each breath feeds the light. Each exhale releases old shadows. In this practice, the body becomes a temple of awareness. You begin to know yourself as energy rather than matter. The dream as a mirror. Everything you see in a dream is a reflection of the mind, not a symbol to decode, but a mirror to look into. If you dream of running, it reveals your restlessness. If you dream of falling, it shows the places where you cannot trust the ground. But the Tibetans say, do not cling to interpretation. Simply see how the mind creates the illusion and believes it. By watching this process night after night, you learn its mechanics. You see how thoughts solidify into objects, how emotions paint the landscape of the dream. Eventually, you recognize that the same mechanism builds your waking world. Your life is a dream, agreed upon by many minds. When you realize this, something softens. The walls of certainty become transparent. You stop clinging to the drama and start listening to the silence beneath it. Energy and emotion. The masters taught that emotion is energy in motion, waves on the ocean of awareness. When you dream in anger, the winds turn rough and the scene darkens. When you dream in compassion, light fills every corner. Therefore, to purify dreams, one must purify emotion. Before sleep, forgive everyone, including yourself. Release the stories of the day as if blowing dust from a mirror. Then the mind reflects clearly, and dreams become luminous. Emotion is not an enemy. It is the paint with which the mind creates. When you know this, you can choose colors wisely. To dream in love is to practice enlightenment. The 6 stages of dream awareness. In the monasteries of Tibet, students were taught that dream awareness unfolds in 6 stages, each a doorway opening deeper into the mind. The masters said, move gently through these stages. Awareness is not conquered, it is invited. Stage 1. Remembering the dream. Awakening begins not in the night, but in the morning. The first stage is simple. Remember. When you wake, remain still. Do not move the body or open the eyes. Let the dream's residue float to the surface of awareness. Ask softly, where was I just now? Let images return. A voice, a scent, a strange color. Write them down before they fade. The act of remembering strengthens the bridge between worlds. The Tibetans believed that memory is the root of mindfulness. If you cannot remember your dreams, you cannot awaken within them. Stage 2. Recognizing the dream. As practice deepens, a spark of lucidity appears within the dream itself. A faint whisper. Something is not quite real. A light flickers differently, or a sound echoes without source. When recognition dawns, when you truly know you are dreaming, pause. Do nothing. Let awareness settle like snow on still water. This is the second gate. It may last only a few breaths, but even a single heartbeat of lucidity can change the mind forever. You have seen the illusion. You have glimpsed the creator behind it. Stage 3. Maintaining awareness. The third stage is endurance. Lucidity flickers like a candle in wind. To keep it alive, you must balance attention and relaxation. If you grasp, the dream shatters. If you drift, the light dims. So the masters taught a middle way. Focus softly on your hands, or on a single object within the dream. Let awareness anchor there, while the rest of the scene flows freely. They compared this to riding a horse without reins, trusting motion while staying awake. Stage 4. Transforming the dream. Once awareness is steady, the dream becomes clay in your hands. You can change fear into light, sorrow into song. You can fly, walk through walls, breathe underwater. But the purpose is not entertainment. It is understanding. Each transformation reveals the flexibility of mind. It shows that nothing you experience, waking or dreaming, is truly fixed. Reality is plastic, molded by awareness itself. The masters advised, transform not to escape, but to learn the nature of illusion. Stage 5. Dissolving the dream. Beyond transformation lies dissolution. Here you allow the dream to fade, while awareness remains. The scenery softens, colors dissolve into light. Soon only a vast, luminous field remains, radiant, still, infinite. This is the clear light of sleep. Few reach this state often. It is like seeing the ocean after lifetimes of sailing from island to island. Nothing remains but the expanse of awareness itself. Stage 6. Awareness without dream. The final stage is awareness without content. No image, no sound, no story. Just pure knowing. Open, boundless, self-luminous. In this state, consciousness rests in its own nature. There is no difference between sleep and meditation, between life and death. The Tibetans call it the clear light mind, the ground from which all dreams arise and into which all dissolve. To touch it even once, they say, is to know you are eternal. Breathing and visualization before sleep. The Tibetan masters say that the gateway to the dream world is the breath. It is the bridge between body and mind, between the seen and the unseen. To guide the breath is to guide consciousness itself. Before sleep, they would sit quietly on the edge of the bed or on a thin mat, spine straight, eyes softly closed. The instruction was simple but precise. Inhale through the left nostril, the lunar channel. Exhale through the right, the solar. Let the inhale be cool and receptive, the exhale warm and releasing. With each cycle, imagine energy flowing up one side of the spine and down the other, twisting like twin serpents made of light. They call this motion the meeting of sun and moon, the balancing of inner winds. At first, you may feel nothing but air. Then, subtle heat rises in the navel, subtle tingling in the forehead. Stay with it. Do not chase sensation. Simply breathe and listen. After 7 slow breaths, visualize a tiny sphere of white light within the heart. It pulses gently in rhythm with the breath. Each inhalation draws clarity into it. Each exhalation releases obscurity. Let that light grow until it fills the chest. Then let it drift upward to the throat, the center of voice and dream. From there, it ascends to the brow, resting between the eyes like a soft moon. Hold awareness there as you lie down. When sleep comes, follow that light into the dark. If you wake within a dream, remember the light and say quietly, "This is the same light I carried from waking." In that moment, the boundary between realities melts. The mind, they say, is an open sky. Thoughts and dreams are clouds passing through. The breath is the wind that moves them. When you breathe shallow and fast, clouds gather. When you breathe deeply and slowly, the sky clears. So each night, the master cleared the sky before sleep. He did not try to stop thoughts. He simply let them pass like birds crossing a vast horizon. When the sky was clear, he would whisper a single word: awareness. That word was a key. It opened the dream door without forcing it. The mirror is a central image in Tibetan dream yoga. It reflects everything, yet is stained by nothing. Your mind is that mirror. Waking events and dreams are the reflections. When you identify with a reflection, you forget the mirror. When you remember the mirror, all reflections shine as light. During practice, visualize a clear mirror floating in front of you. See faces, places, memories appear and disappear upon its surface. Whisper: all forms are reflections of mind. Repeat until you feel the truth of it vibrate in your bones. Then let the mirror dissolve into light and draw that light into your heart. This is how the outer and inner become one. Tibetans speak of 5 winds moving through 5 directions in the body. When they are balanced, dreams are clear and peaceful. When they are disturbed, dreams become chaotic and heavy. Anger roughens the wind of fire. Fear shakes the wind of air. Attachment twists the wind of water. By slowing the breath, you smooth these winds. By stilling thoughts, you let them flow without collision. Eventually, breath, mind, and light merge into a single stream. It is through that stream that you enter the dream consciously, unifying waking and dreaming. When you begin to see that both waking and dreaming are made of mind, the division between night and day starts to fade. You realize that awareness has never been asleep, only distracted by its own creation. The Tibetans say, "The true yogi sleeps while awake and awakens while asleep." It is not poetry, it is precision. It means to remain present in all states, to carry the same clear awareness through every form of experience. In waking life, thoughts and sensations dance before you. In dreaming, they do the same, only subtler, faster. But the watcher is the same, unchanging, luminous, silent. At dusk, the master reminds his students, do not let awareness fall asleep before the body does. They practice holding a thin thread of knowing as they drift. The body relaxes, breath slows, yet a small flame of consciousness remains steady. That flame travels with them into dreams and later into the deep, contentless sleep. If they can keep it alive through all transitions, they taste the continuum of awareness, the mind unbroken by form or time. This is the foundation of liberation. Not to escape the world, but to see its transparency. Teachers sometimes speak of 4 types of dreams along the path. The first are ordinary dreams, fragments of daily life, colored by memory and emotion. The second are meaningful dreams, symbols carrying insight or warning, shaped by karma and intuition. The third are clear dreams, radiant, vivid, often accompanied by awareness. And the fourth are pure dreams, born from meditation itself, in which the practitioner meets deities or direct expressions of wisdom. Each has purpose. The key is not to chase them, but to witness. Even the wildest dream can become a teacher when met with stillness. The masters said, "Do not judge the dream. Read the clarity within it." If the day is noisy, the night will echo that noise. If the day is mindful, the night becomes luminous. So dream yoga begins long before you sleep. It begins in how you walk, speak, listen. It begins in how you treat others and how you breathe in the middle of the storm. The energy of the day shapes the pattern of the night. When kindness fills your actions, compassion colors your dreams. The world within and the world without are reflections facing each other, like two mirrors, endlessly repeating light. To purify one is to purify both. In advanced teachings, the masters link the dream body to the state after death. When the physical form dissolves, awareness continues in a subtle body, the same that moves through dreams. If you can recognize illusion there, you can walk freely through the afterlife realms. Dream yoga, then, is rehearsal for freedom. It is the art of dying consciously every night, so that when the final sleep comes, you are already awake. They said, "He who knows the dream knows the bardo," because both are woven from mind and both dissolve into light. After years of practice, the line between mirror and reflection disappears. The practitioner looks into the dream and sees only light. He looks into waking life and sees the same. He eats, walks, speaks, and yet in every act knows this too is the play of mind. No longer trapped, he moves through the world gently, leaving no shadow behind. When he sleeps, he smiles. When he wakes, he smiles again, for there is no difference. Now, as the lesson of the second part concludes, take a slow breath. Feel the body you call your own. Sense how it rises and falls like a tide in a larger ocean. Then imagine the luminous body within it, weightless, transparent, breathing light. See how thought shapes that light, how emotion colors it, how awareness illuminates it all. Everything you have ever called real is reflected there. Dream and day merging into one vast mirror. Tonight, when you close your eyes, remember this teaching. There is no boundary between the worlds. The dreamer and the awakened are one and the same. Rest gently in that knowing. For in truth, you have never left the light. Lucid dreaming as a path to liberation. On a high plateau of snow and stone, the wind never sleeps. There, in a monastery carved into the mountain, a young monk begins his training in the yoga of dreams. His name is Tashi. He has taken vows of silence for 40 days. Each night, he sits before a butter lamp, watching the small flame tremble like a heartbeat in the dark. His teacher, an old lama with eyes clear as ice, tells him, "To know the dream, you must first know the dreamer." So Tashi closes his eyes. He listens to the breath. He imagines the body of light described in the ancient text. Outside, snow falls against the stone. Inside, another snow begins, flakes of thought drifting across the field of mind. He watches them without grasping. He lets them melt into stillness. That night, when sleep takes him, he finds himself standing in the same hall where he meditated. The lamp still burns, but the flame is no longer fire. It is a star. Light spreads until walls dissolve, and the world opens like dawn over an endless sea. For the first time, he knows, "I am dreaming." The Lama had warned him, "When you awaken inside the dream, do not rejoice. Stay still. Stay clear. So Tashi breathes slowly. He feels the ground of light beneath his feet. He raises his hand and watches it shift, skin turning to mist, then to gold, then transparent. Fear flares, then curiosity softens it. He whispers, "This is mind." Mountains rise around him, but he knows they are thoughts wearing the shape of stone. He remembers another teaching. If you control the dream, you remain a prisoner. If you understand it, you are free. So he does not try to fly. He walks instead, one step, then another, watching how intention sculpts the horizon. A river appears at his desire to move. A bridge forms when he decides to cross. Every thought becomes world. He smiles, realizing how the same process rules waking life. The dream within, the dream without. They are mirrors reflecting one another. On the seventh night, a storm rises in Tashi's dream. From the clouds emerges a black figure with the face of his own anger. Its eyes burn red, its voice roars like thunder. "You cannot escape me." He wants to run, but he remembers the Lama's words. Everything you fear is your own energy misunderstood. So he turns toward the demon. He bows. In that instant, the monster dissolves into light and flows into his chest. Heat spreads through his dream body, followed by calm, like fire turning to sunlight. When he wakes before dawn, tears of relief trace the dust on his face. He has learned the first real meaning of lucid. Not controlling, but embracing. The Lama speaks softly at morning prayers. The one who fights shadows multiplies them. The one who blesses shadows becomes light. He explains that lucid dreaming is not entertainment, but liberation. Each dream is a rehearsal for awakening, a mirror for karma, a teacher made of your own mind. Learn to recognize every figure, he says, as your reflection. The wise bow to their own creation. Tashi listens, eyes lowered, hearing the echo of the night still inside him. He understands now that awareness is the only traveler, moving through shapes, gathering wisdom, returning to itself. The 4 practices of lucidity. Days pass like clouds across the monastery sky. Tashi continues his training. Each sunrise, he copies the same 4 lines into his worn notebook. The 4 practices his teacher calls the pillars of lucidity. The Lama says, the dream will never be pure if the day is polluted. So Tashi begins by cleansing his daylight mind. He walks slower. He eats with attention. He speaks only when necessary, and even then, softly. During chores, he repeats a single phrase. This too is a dream. He whispers it while fetching water, while sweeping the snow from temple steps. At first, the words feel hollow. But one afternoon, as sunlight hits the ice just right, he feels a strange weightlessness, as though the mountain itself were breathing. He realizes that the dream is not only for the night. It is happening now. The teacher explains, lucidity grows through signs. The mind leaves clues for itself. In waking life, these signs are the moments that break the pattern. When a bell rings twice though struck once, or when a bird stares too long into your eyes. Tashi learns to notice such ripples in reality. He stops and asks, "Am I awake or dreaming?" He does this again and again until the habit becomes instinct. Then, one night, inside a dream, he hears a bell that never existed. He turns and, "Am I awake or dreaming?" The world trembles, colors sharpen, and lucidity returns. He laughs softly within the dream, not from joy, but from recognition. It is the same practice, continued through sleep. Fear, the Lama says, is the final veil. Until you can face it, awareness will always retreat. So Tashi learns to meet fear as friend. If he dreams of falling, he spreads his arms and rides the wind. If he dreams of fire, he walks into the flame, whispering light, not pain. Each time he does, the fear transforms. Fire becomes warmth. Abyss becomes flight. He writes in his journal, "Fear is the gatekeeper of light," and his teacher nods. Yes, to awaken is to stop running. When the student has learned to transform fear, the Lama gives him the final practice. Now, look at the dream itself, he says. See how it arises, how it fades, what remains when it's gone. That night, Tashi becomes lucid once more. He looks at his hands, then at the world around him, the monastery, the river, the stars above. He watches everything shimmer, edges glowing as though made of mist. He takes a breath and whispers, "Empty, yet radiant." The walls dissolve into light. The ground fades. He stands in pure space, awareness without boundary. There is no fear, no self, no teacher, no student. Only the vast, gentle presence that watches all dreams. For a moment that feels eternal, Tashi rests there, awake within the infinite. Then, slowly, the world returns. Morning light spilling across his small cell. He opens his eyes and bows, whispering, "I saw the face of emptiness, and it was kind." The encounters, teachers, deities, and shadows. In the months that follow, Tashi's dreams become vast and intricate. He meets figures of light and shadow, beings born not from another world, but from the unlit corners of his own mind. At first, they frighten him. Later, he learns to listen, for each carries a message hidden within its form. One night, while dreaming, he stands upon a lake so still it mirrors the stars. From the far shore, a man in a red robe approaches, walking across the water as if on solid earth. His face glows with quiet humor. Tashi bows, realizing it is his own teacher, the Lama, yet younger, radiant, and without age. The dream teacher says, "When the body sleeps, the master outside becomes the master within. What you see now is not me. It is the wisdom you have remembered." He raises his hand and touches Tashi's forehead. A rush of light floods through him, not like vision, but like recognition. The lake, the stars, the teacher, all dissolve into a single brilliance. When Tashi wakes, the sensation remains, a warmth in his brow that lasts for days. He understands that the teacher in waking life and the teacher in dreams are reflections in the same mirror. Another night, the dream opens into a valley of white flowers. A soft wind moves through them, carrying the scent of sandalwood. From the horizon, a figure made of light descends, surrounded by 1,000 petals. It is Tara, the goddess of compassion. She looks upon Tashi with eyes that hold every sorrow he has ever felt. No words are spoken, yet he hears her clearly. The dreamer and the dreamed are bound by kindness. When you awaken, remember this. She places a lotus at his heart. It opens, spilling radiance through his chest. The dream dissolves into golden light. When he wakes, his pillow is damp with tears, not of sadness, but of release. From that night onward, every being he meets in dreams, even the cruel or the lost, he greets with compassion first. But awakening is never a straight path. After light, darkness returns to be understood. Tashi begins to see faces from his childhood. A man who struck him. A friend he betrayed. His mother's face fading into smoke. Each night they appear, demanding acknowledgement. He kneels before them, one by one. To the man, he says, "I forgive." To the friend, "I am sorry." To his mother, "I remember." The dreams grow quieter. Forgiveness settles like snow covering old tracks. When he speaks of this to the Lama, the old man nods. "Even enlightenment needs housekeeping," he says with a faint smile. On the final night of the retreat, Tashi dreams of standing at the edge of a vast plain. All around him rise countless figures, men, women, children, animals, spirits, each glowing faintly. He realizes they are all versions of himself, formed from every lifetime, every choice, every forgotten thought. Some are kind, some cruel, some weary, some joyful. All are looking back at him. He bows deeply. As he does, they bow too, and in that gesture, all merge into one stream of light, returning to his heart. The world fades to silence. He feels the pulse of infinite lives breathing through him, and for the first time, truly understands. There is no other. The liberation through the dream gate. The night after his great vision, the monastery is silent. Snow falls endlessly, covering even the prayer flags that fluttered for decades in the wind. Tashi sits in meditation. The old Lama rests nearby, eyes half closed, the faintest smile on his lips. A single lamp flickers between them. Its flame rises and bends, like breath. The teacher speaks softly, barely louder than the wind. You have learned to awaken inside the dream. Now, learn to awaken inside the world. Tashi lowers his head. He understands that the training was never about dreams alone. It was about life itself, the greatest dream of all. That night, as sleep comes, he enters the dream consciously, not as student, not as seeker, but as stillness itself. He finds himself standing before a great gate carved from light. Symbols shimmer across its surface, not letters, not words, but movements of pure awareness. He does not push the gate. He simply breathes, and it opens. Beyond it lies nothing, not darkness, not void, only an endless, luminous space. He feels the last threads of individuality loosen, memories fading like ink in rain. A voice, perhaps his teacher's, perhaps his own, whispers, "This is the clear light. Rest here, and you will know freedom." He lets go, and for a moment, the universe becomes one vast inhale. In the luminous expanse, there is no time. He floats, neither asleep nor awake, neither dreaming nor gone. He sees the lives of all beings, their joys, their wounds, their longing to wake. He realizes that liberation is not to escape them, but to love them. Awareness expands until it holds all worlds within it. Mountain, storm, laughter, grief. Each a note in the same eternal breath. The Lama's words echo through the stillness. To awaken for yourself is small. To awaken for all beings is vast as the sky. Tashi bows, though there is no body left to bow. His awareness bends, and the light bows with him. When dawn breaks, the monastery glows under a veil of mist. Monks file through the courtyard, their voices low, carrying bowls of snowmelt for the morning ritual. The old Lama opens his eyes. He looks toward Tashi's cell, the door slightly ajar, the lamp still burning. Inside, the bed is empty. Only a faint scent of juniper remains, and a small folded note beside the lamp. The note reads, "I have gone through the gate, but I am not gone. Every breath you take is my dream now." The Lama smiles. He bows his head and he has found the path. May all beings find it too. He lifts the lamp and blows it out. Darkness fills the room, but the air itself seems to shine. Some say Tashi's body vanished that night. Others say he walked beyond the mountains and never returned. But the Lama taught that the story's ending is not disappearance. It is integration. To awaken inside the dream is to see that every being is your reflection. To awaken inside the world is to live as that reflection consciously. When awareness stops clinging to form, even the smallest act, a breath, a glance, a kind word, becomes sacred. The Tibetans call this the Great Awakening, the moment when the dreamer knows that the dream and the awakened state were never separate. It is said that those who reach this realization sleep peacefully, wake gently, and live without fear, for they have crossed the dream gate while still alive. Now, imagine that lamp within your own heart. Let it flicker softly as you breathe. Every dream, every life, every heartbeat All are dances of the same flame. When you rest tonight, remember this story, not as legend, but as memory. For the gate of dreams opens for everyone, every night, in every breath. And beyond that gate, the light waits, patient, eternal, kind. Sleep, dream, awaken. They are not 3 acts, but one continuous prayer of the universe, spoken through you. The night is almost over. Yet for the one who has awakened inside sleep, there is no such thing as night or day. Only breath and awareness. Let this final teaching be not words, but rhythm. The rhythm that carries you into the deep, luminous rest of the ancients. Lie down gently, your body resting like a mountain. Feel the weight of your limbs melt into the bed beneath you. Notice the subtle warmth where your body touches the earth. Now, bring awareness to your breath without changing it. Simply notice the inhale and the exhale. Feel the soft wave of air moving through you. With each breath, let the body grow heavier, quieter. Inhale. Silently say, I arrive. Exhale. Silently say, I release. Do this 3 times, slowly. Inhale. Silently say, I arrive. Exhale. Silently say, I release. Inhale. Silently say, I arrive. Exhale. Silently say, I release. Inhale. Silently say, I arrive. Exhale. Silently say, I release. Feel your pulse slowing, the muscles of the face softening, the mind uncoiling, like smoke from a candle just blown out. Now bring your attention to the center of the chest. Imagine a small golden light there, the size of a seed. With each inhale, it brightens. With each exhale, it spreads warmth through your body. Breathe in, feel it expand. Breathe out, let it radiate gently to your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Again, inhale light into your heart. Exhale light down through your spine, your hips, your legs, your feet. Now your whole body glows faintly, soft, golden, weightless. You are no longer a shape, but a field of light resting in a larger light. The Tibetans called this the illusory body, a reminder that you are awareness wearing a garment of light. We will now follow the ancient rhythm, the breath of stillness. Inhale gently for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Rest in the silence for 4. Again, inhale 4. Hold 4. Exhale 4. Rest 4. With each round, the breath grows slower, the spaces longer, until breath itself becomes awareness. Let go of counting now. Let the breath breathe you. You may feel the edges of your body dissolving, the mind opening like a window to the night sky. This is the threshold. Do not resist it. Now, imagine that golden light in your heart beginning to drift upward, to your throat, to your brow, to the crown of the head. It opens like a flower, releasing you into a soft, endless brightness. In this light, there are no dreams to chase, no thoughts to hold. Only the vast, clear presence that has always been here. The Lama's voice, somewhere in the distance of your mind, murmurs, "Let go of everything. What you are seeking is what you already are." You are the breath. You are the dream. You are the light watching itself fall asleep. Now, breathe once more. Inhale peace. Exhale into infinity. And as the final traces of thought fade, the universe exhales with you, and the night becomes the sound of your quiet, eternal rest.